A very good morning to all. I am Lakshmi Narayana, Zoology faculty at Super 60 NEET, Dupalvalsa, Srikakulam. Okay, today our topic is neural control and coordination, and the central neural system part 1 we are going to discuss today. Under this topic we are going to discuss the structure of brain. Okay, here we are going to discuss the neural system. Neural system of all animals is composed of highly specialized cells called the neurons or nerves. And our human brain, it contains more than 100 billions of neurons. This is the structure of neuron, and the human neural system is studied under two headings, that is central neural system and the peripheral neural system. Central neural system and the peripheral neural system. Central neural system, it contains the brain and the spinal cord. This is the brain and the spinal cord which runs through the vertebral column. And the peripheral nervous system, it includes all the nerves arising from the brain and the spinal cord. Means the peripheral nervous system includes the nerves arising from the central nervous system. Okay, and the central neural system, it is developed from the neural ectoderm. It includes the brain and spinal cord. Brain and spinal cord. Now let us discuss the brain. The human brain, a living supercomputer, it is a site of information processing and control, and it is protected by a bony skull outside, and it is also inside. It is protected and covered by three meninges called as the cranial meninges. From outer to inner, they are dura mater, outermost layer, arachnoid matter, thin middle layer, and the pia mater, which is the innermost layer which is in contact with the brain tissue. Okay, now the arachnoid is separated by the dura mater, means in between the outermost layer and middle layer there is a small space, a narrow space called as subdural space. Subdural space. And similarly the pia mater is separated from arachnoid by a space called as subarachnoid space, which is filled with cerebrospinal fluid. Cerebrospinal fluid, CSF. There are three major parts in the brain. The first part is called as the forebrain. Forebrain, which occupies the major portion of the brain, it is also called as prosencephalon. This is the forebrain. This is the forebrain. Prosencephalon. And coming to the midbrain, it is also called as mesencephalon. This is called as mesencephalon. And the third brain is the hindbrain, is also called as the rhombencephalon. This is the hindbrain. Hindbrain. The rhombencephalon. The forebrain, which is called as the prosencephalon. The midbrain, also called as the mesencephalon. The hindbrain, also called as the rhombencephalon. Okay, coming to the first one, the forebrain, the prosencephalon. It consists of olfactory bulbs, a pair of olfactory bulbs, also called as the olfactory lobes. Olfactory lobes. The second one is the cerebrum, is also called as the telencephalon. It is the major portion of the brain. And the third portion is of the forebrain is diencephalon, also called as the thalamencephalon. Thalamencephalon. Let us discuss this olfactory bulb. These are the olfactory bulbs which are present on the ventral side of the brain. Ventral side of the brain, and they receive sensory impulses. Those are related with the smell from the olfactory epithelium, which is present in the olfactory part of the nasal chamber. Coming to the next one, second part, that is called as cerebrum, which is also called as telencephalon. It is the major portion of the brain, and The surface of the cerebrum is composed of a gray matter which is called as the cortex. Here the outermost region is dark colored region and innermost region is called as the light colored region. The outermost region is called as the cortex and the middle light colored layer is called as the medulla. And this cerebrum is longitudinally divided into right and left cerebral hemispheres. These are the cerebral hemispheres, right cerebral hemisphere, left cerebral hemisphere, okay, by a longitudinal, deep longitudinal fissure. Longitudinal fissures are there. These are these longitudinal deep fissures. This cerebrum or telencephalon is divided into two cerebral hemispheres, the right cerebral hemisphere and the left cerebral hemisphere. These cerebral hemispheres, they are connected by a transverse wide flat bundle of myelinated fibers called as corpus callosum. Corpus callosum. And the coming to the second part, that is the cerebral medulla, which consists of mostly the myelinated axons. Myelinated axons. Because of the presence of cell body or soma in the cortex region, the cortex is gray in color. Because of the presence of axons, particularly the myelinated axons, the medulla portion is light in color. Okay, here you can observe the dark color and light color, the light colored region. Okay, the cerebral hemisphere is having four regions. The cerebrum is having four regions. The frontal region, the anteriormost portion of the brain is called as frontal region, and the behind the frontal region, a region, parietal region is there, and on the both sides of this there is a temporal region. This one is temporal region, and then at the posterior most region the occipital region is there. This way there are four lobes, and these four lobes are frontal lobe, parietal lobe, occipital lobe, and temporal lobe. Coming to the third part of the forebrain, that is diencephalon. This diencephalon is also called as thalamencephalon. Thalamencephalon. This thalamencephalon is this. Here you can observe the diencephalon, the exact location of the diencephalon in the brain. This thalamencephalon or diencephalon is further divided into three regions: the epithalamus, thalamus, and the hypothalamus. The epithalamus is the non-nervous part of the brain, and thalamus is the major coordinating center for sensory and motor signaling. This is epithalamus, thalamus, and hypothalamus. Okay, and hypothalamus is also called as the thermostat of the body. Thermostat of the body. This is diencephalon. Okay, and the hypothalamus. Hypothalamus. This is the exact location of the hypothalamus. It lies at the base of the thalamus. It lies at the base of the thalamus, and that's why it is called as hypo. Hypo means at the base. Okay, it is a funnel shaped structure, and the funnel shaped structure, it is having an extension. The funnel shaped extension called as the infundibulum. Infundibulum. This infundibulum, it is connected with pituitary gland, and this hypothalamus, it secretes a number of hormones which controls the secretions of the pituitary. And this hypothalamus is the osmoregulatory, thermoregulatory control, and it is the thirst control and hunger control and satiety center of the brain. That is a feeling of fullness, stomach fullness, feeling of stomach fullness. Coming to the second part of the brain, that is midbrain. Midbrain, it is the location of midbrain. You can clearly see that. Look at this picture. It is the lateral view of the midbrain, and it is the dorsal view of the midbrain. This is the exact location of the midbrain. It is a small portion. It's called as mesencephalon. Mesencephalon. And this Midbrain, it is located between the thalamus and the epithalamus of the forebrain and the pons of the hindbrain. This is thalamus and epithalamus, and here you can observe clearly. This is thalamus, epithalamus, and it is the pons, and it is the exact location of the midbrain. Exact location of the midbrain means it is connecting with the hypothalamus and thalamus with the pons. Okay, and a canal called as cerebral aqueduct passes through the midbrain. There are four ventricles, and the cerebral aqueduct, which connects the third ventricle with the fourth ventricle of the brain, it runs through the midbrain. Okay, and the dorsal portion of this midbrain consists of four round lobes, corpora quadrigemina, called as corpora quadrigemina. There are four lobes in the dorsal portion of the midbrain. There are only two lobes in frog. That's why it is called as corpora bigemina. In frogs, the midbrain contains only two round lobes, whereas in humans there are four round lobes, corpora quadrigemina. And the cerebral peduncle or the crura cerebri connects the cerebral hemispheres with pons. These cerebral hemispheres, they are connected with the pons with the help of crura cerebri. Crura cerebri. Coming to the last region of the forebrain, that is brain, that is the hindbrain. Hindbrain is also called as rhombencephalon. Rhombencephalon. Here you can observe the exact location of the hindbrain. Hindbrain, it includes the cerebellum, the pons, and the medulla oblongata. They together called as hindbrain. Okay, here it is the medulla oblongata. This is pons, and this one is cerebellum. Okay, these three together make the hindbrain, also called as the rhombencephalon. Okay, and the first part of the hindbrain, that is cerebellum, is also called as little brain. This is a little brain, and the second portion is called as pons viroli, which is a relay station, is also having pneumotoxic center in it. This is pons viroli. This is the pons viroli, which contains the pneumotoxic center, and this is cerebellum, and cerebellum is also called as little brain, and the third portion in the hindbrain is medulla oblongata. Hindbrain contains cerebellum, pons viroli, and medulla oblongata. And this cerebellum is having, here clearly you can observe, a branching tree-like appearance is observed in the cerebellum. And this light colored matter is called as arbor vitae. The branching tree-like core of cerebellar white matter is called as arbor vitae. It is looking like a branching tree. Okay, and this one is called as arbor vitae. Arbor vitae is located in the hindbrain. And cerebellum, it is a major controlling center for locomotory movements. And cerebellum also maintains the equilibrium of the body. That's why it is also called as the gyroscope of the body. Coming to the ventricles of the human brain, there are four ventricles in human brain. These four ventricles, out of these, two are lateral ventricles. These two are called as lateral ventricles. 1 and 2. These two are lateral ventricles. This is from the dorsal view, and this is from the lateral view. These are two are lateral ventricles. And these ventricles are the central cavities of the brain, which are filled with cerebrospinal fluid. And these all ventricles, they are connected with each other, and they are continuous with each other, and central canal of the spinal cord also. These four ventricles, they are continuous, and they continue as a central canal of the spinal cord. And the four ventricles are two paracells. These are also paracells, 1 and 2. These two are paracels, and they are also called as lateral ventricles. Lateral ventricles. Okay, these two are lateral ventricles, and one diaucyle. This one is called as diaucyle, and is the third ventricle. The first two ventricles are paracels or lateral ventricles. The third ventricle is diaucyle. Diaucyle, which is present in the diencephalon. These paracels are first two ventricles. They are present in the cerebral hemispheres. Cerebral hemisphere. One cerebral hemisphere, right cerebral hemisphere is having one paracel, and left cerebral hemisphere is also having one paracel. And the third ventricle is the diaucyle, which is present in the diencephalon. Diencephalon, here you can observe the third ventricle. This is third ventricle. Okay, and the fourth ventricle is myocele. The fourth ventricle is myocele. Here you can observe the myocele, which is present in the medulla oblongata, and it continues as the central canal of the here you can observe as the central canal of the spinal cord. Okay, and these first two ventricles, 1 and 2 ventricles, they are connected with the third ventricle with Monro, foramen Monro, and this third and fourth ventricle, they are connected with iter or cerebral aqueduct. Iter duct or cerebral aqueduct. Okay, there are 4 ventricles in our brain. 4 ventricles. Out of these 4 valves, 2 are paracels, one is diaucyle, and the last one of the fourth ventricle is myocele. First and two ventricles are paracels. Third ventricle is diaucyle. Fourth ventricle is myelocele. And the diaucyle and the paracels, they are having they are opened. The paracels are opened into the diaucyle through foramen Monro. There are 2 separate foramen Monros. Okay, and the third ventricle and fourth ventricle, they are interconnected with iter duct or cerebral aqueduct. Okay, and thank you for watching my video. Thank you.